All right, folks, what's going on? Noire here, and basically, I was thinking about something very interesting yesterday, actually, and it's about self-improvement, but it's also the link of success leaves clues, right? And so you look at things that are very successful, and you think about certain aspects of them that made them successful like that, and try to figure out what it was. So this thing that I was focusing on is video games. I don't really play video games so much anymore. I got rid of all my TVs and different things like that. Going on a little bit of a mind cleanse. But when I used to play video games, my favorite video games in particular were video games that involved leveling up and improving a character, increasing stats and all that kind of stuff. So they're usually role-playing games and things like this. And the last one I was really into playing was Fallout 4. Now, for those of you who play video games, you know what I'm talking about. Fallout 4 or Fallout in general is very addicting. It's ghetto as all hell. I mean, I don't even know how this thing got certified and made it past the testing and put on the shelves, right? Because it's glitchy, it's buggy, right? But it's so good and it's so bad at the same time. I mean, honestly, if I was employing you to make a game and you made that, I'd fire you. Honestly, because it's so rough around the edges, but still it's very good, it's very captivating. So I'm thinking, if it could be that buggy and that glitchy, why is it so successful? Why is it so entertaining? And honestly, the thing about it that's so addicting is the improvement aspect of it, the self-improvement aspect of the game, right? What do? You build things, you build settlements for people to go and live in safety. You improve your character stats, level, intelligence, strength, agility, all of these different statistics, right? And that's the goal, right? It's all about, helping people, beating the bad guy, and leveling up and improving your character, making this badass, right? And so that right there, I figured, well, you know what? Why? This is so entertaining and so good in a video game. What if you could apply that aspect to real life? And the thing, honestly, is that you can through personal development, right? Your life can literally be just as entertaining as that game if you look at it that way. It's all about your perception, and it's literally the same thing. I mean, think about leveling up your character. You need a certain amount of experience points, right? You need to progress to a certain point in the storyline. Well, think about it. You need experience in real life. You have a storyline in real life. You have the experience to match your storyline. And so that's the natural progression. But even in video games, we have stages, levels, and all this kind of stuff, right? The game is broken down into chapters, levels, stages, whatever the case is, right? And so you got to get from point A to point B. And there's always a solid point A and point B. And that's how life really should be. So basically what I'm going to talk about today is the importance of goals, but not just goals, specific goals with numbers attached to them, and the phrasing of those goals. So I want to start with the importance of goals, right? So put it like this. Would you ever go to a shooting range and just shoot round after round, but not put up a target? Would you ever do archery and just shoot arrows into the distance, not trying to hit anything? Not trying to hit a specific thing, right? How interesting is that? It's not very interesting. Right? Shooting is not really that fun unless you're shooting something, right? Unless you're shooting for something, right? Basketball. Would basketball be fun if there was no hoop to shoot into, right? If there was no rim to dunk on? We need a target. Even in a race, if there's no finish line, well, what fun is that? How do you know who won? How do you know your time, right? You need that number attached to it. You need that target. And a big part of goal setting is that when you set specific goals and you hit those goals, that increases your ability to hit goals. Goal hitting is actually a skill. It's like accuracy. You get better at it as time goes on because you start to understand how to hit goals better. But you need the goals in order to improve yourself in that way. So you need to have a solid point B. You need to have a solid finish line, a solid target in life. And a good way to establish a solid target is numbers. So now I'm gonna get into the numbers. Now, let's say you're in the gym, you're working out, and you're increasing your strength stat, you're increasing your agility stat, you're increasing, right? You get the point. Reading books, you're picking up new skills, you're increasing your intelligence stat. You have actual real stats in life that you can literally improve, same way you could in a video game. And if you can see it that way, it makes life a lot more interesting. It makes your storyline a lot more interesting. Because now you have more value to give back to the world and manifest an interesting story. But I digress, right? Going back to the numbers. Now, in order to hit a goal, in order to hit a solid goal, you have to have numbers. And those numbers, let's say, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you're in the gym, you're trying to get in shape. What does it take to get in shape, right? Well, first off, you need your measurements, which are numbers. You need your weight, which are numbers. You need your body fat percentage, which are numbers. You need your strength, which are quantified by numbers. How much weight can you push? How much weight can you pull? And so on, right? And those baseline numbers, you can now say, well, I want to get here. And you can have a new set of numbers that you want to reach. That's important. I'm going to tell you why. Let's say I'm a fitness coach and I'm trying to sell you personal training sessions. I want you to train with me. Now, how encouraging is it if I say, hey, if you work with me, over time, you're going to get more in shape. You're going to ask me, well, all right, well, how do we do that? What's the goal? How much in shape am I going to get? How much weight am I going to lose? You want to know how much, right? You go to a store, you pick something up, how much is it? How much does it cost? You get a job, how much am I getting paid? Right? You need to know how much, right? And so, now if I was to say, you train with me, you're going to lose 7 pounds every week, and every 3 weeks you're going to lose an inch off your waist. You see the difference there? I gave you specific numbers. With these numbers now, you can take these goals that much more seriously, and you're more likely to buy training from me. Because we have those specific goals. We got a mission now. We know our start line, we know our finish line. This is why whenever I train somebody new, we get those baseline measurements and I say, this is where we're going to be by this time. So now you get dialed in, you get focused on that goal. But if we had no baseline measurements, we had no future measurements, no goals, right? It's not really anything you can take seriously. You have no timeline, nothing. It just falls apart. It's not that interesting. You see? There's no winners, there's no losers, there's no timeline, there's no goals, there's no specific tasks, nothing. It's just random activities. See? And the thing about your goals is when you have these numbers, it makes it easier for you to sell yourself on your goals, on your ambition, on a day-to-day basis. Because every day you need to wake up, you need to reaffirm your goals. I am going to reach this. I am here now, I want to be here. Day after day. Because you're always buying something, you're always selling something. Okay? Because not only do people sell to you, but you also sell to yourself. What do you tell yourself every day? And so what you tell yourself is now leading into the phrasing of your goals. What are the words that you say when you voice your goals? And why you have those goals, right? What's the phrasing you use? And in particular, what I want to touch on is your phrasing with negative or positive words? Are you speaking from fear or confidence? Right? Are you speaking from doubt or empowerment? And there's a big difference in the phrasing will say that. Now, when you're afraid, you might say things like, I don't want to be broke, I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to die, I don't want to get hurt. I don't want anything harmful to happen to me. Right? Now, if you're confident, you're empowered, those are the things that you say. What do you say when you're confident and empowered? Do you say, I'm gonna win? I'm gonna be a champion. I'm gonna get whatever I want in life. Look at what some of the world's winners and champions say. People ask them, what their goals are, how they hit those goals, what they do. What do they tell you? We gave 110%. We work our asses off every day, every week, all month, all year round, so that we can be champions, so that we can be winners. You never hear them say, well, we work our asses off, because we don't want to lose. We don't want to not have the cup. We don't want to not win the ring. They don't say that. It's weird. Like, imagine you get, you're like MVP. You're like, well, I work my ass off because I don't not want to be MVP. They don't say that. It sounds ridiculous. And that's the association in our mind, because we know what sounds empowering and what doesn't. And depending on the place that you speak from will determine how you phrase your goals. See, that right there is a very interesting thing. And the truth is, now you speak to your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. And your subconscious mind doesn't really understand things in the complicated and logical way that your conscious mind does. Your subconscious mind picks up on certain words, mainly the first word and the last word. So if you say things like, well, I want to go to the gym and because I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be weak. Your subconscious mind picks up on words like I and fat, or I and weak. Me and that negative word, me and that negative word, me and that negative thing. You see? Now, if you say, I'm going to the gym and working my ass off because I am going to be strong. I am strong. I am healthy. I am in shape. I am going to be even more in shape. I'm going to be fit. Your subconscious mind picks up I and fit, I and strong. You see? And that's where that association comes in. You tell yourself that in your subconscious mind, and that imprints on you. So you got to be very clear on how you phrase your goals, because that will make all the difference. And there's a saying, it goes, your focus goes where your energy flows. Okay, I'm gonna say that one more time. Your focus goes where your energy flows. One more time. Your focus goes where your energy flows. So is your energy on the negative thing that you don't want to be? Is your energy on the thing that you want, the way you want to be? Where's your focus? Because wherever your focus is, that's where your energy will go. Are you focused on what you don't want, or are you focused on what you do want? It's kind of like if you're driving in your car. If you're driving forward and looking backwards the whole time, that's a very dangerous situation. You get into a crash, kill people, end up in a wheelchair, gruesome stuff, right? Because you were focused on the negative instead of the positive. You were focused on backwards and not forwards. And life works the same way. You can't be looking back and trying to reach a goal in front. You got to have that focus and that energy and alignment with the positivity. And that's why you want to work on your phrasing. Because life is very serious business, and I use that example because life and death, life is all life, and death is very serious business. It's not, life is a serious thing. It's not anything to be casual about. It's not. So, to recap, make sure you set some specific goals, attach some numbers to them, and watch your phrasing. Your phrasing should always be aimed at the positive. No negative words. And that's my piece.